Kyrgios decided to have a bit of fun, the way he usually does. After seeing Djokovic's reaction to Federer's speech, he couldn't help but crack a joke after witnessing the contrast in Djokovic's and Nadal's reactions to Roger Federer's heart-wrenching speech. No one is really shocked. Honestly, this is what we've come to expect from the Australian tennis player after seeing his many antics both on and off the court. Here's everything we know. First off, here's Kyrgios' takeaway from Federer's emotional speech. After teaming up with Nadal in his final match, Federer gave an emotional speech and even broke down in tears multiple times. There was even one moment in which the cameras captured Nadal being very emotional, while at the same time Djokovic had a smile on his face. Novak knows chances for slams are better now. Rafa is shattered, Kyrgios uploaded on his Instagram story. Last week, Kyrgios even entered the list of all those who paid tribute to Federer during his retirement, saying about Federer last week on Instagram, "No one will ever play the game like you. Enjoy it. At Roger Federer was an honor." After being beaten by Novak Djokovic in this year's Wimbledon final, Kyrgios then said it was Federer who he thought of as the toughest rival. Kyrgios, who won against Federer in their first meeting before being beaten in their next 6 matches, said Federer knew how to make his opponent feel terrible on the court. He said he had a much tougher time playing against and being beaten by Federer than he did against Djokovic. Federer has a way of making his opponent want to leave the court, and the match seems really short when playing against him too. As for Nadal and Djokovic, he said those two let you play a little bit from the back, and if you're not playing too well, then of course it's a struggle. But Federer can really stick it to his opponent and throw them off the court fast. Kyrgios may have gotten just one victory versus Federer, but the Swiss didn't exactly have it easy against the Australian. Let's take a look at Kyrgios' track record. Kyrgios always divides opinion in the tennis world, and it's not hard to see why many fans believe his impulsive tendencies add excitement to the matches and improve the sport, while others are seriously put off by his often hostile on-court behavior and expected outbursts. He has a strange relationship with many of his colleagues, including Djokovic. The two had a rocky relationship until this year, when they had put aside their differences and started something like a bromance together. No one had any complaints about that. It was nice to see Kyrgios being friendly towards another player for once. It's not something we usually see. The guy is always making headlines for the wrong reasons. Too many to get into, actually. However, the world number 20 has overall had a good relationship with Federer. He always praised his ability and what he's done for tennis. Because of this, many tennis fans were up in arms about what the latest post said about the 20-time major champion's retirement. Many thought it was super disrespectful and petty to make a joke out of the man's retirement. But he wasn't wrong. Djokovic was smiling. Maybe he was just happy for his friend and actually wasn't thinking about the future Grand Slams he's going to win as a result. Kyrgios could be wrong. Moving forward, he's spoken up about his mental health struggles. Maybe bad mental health is the reason for some of the Australians' controversies. He may be a star now, but the man has gone through a personal battle with not only depression but also self-harm, bipolar disorder, and alcoholism. He talked about it in an interview with Wide World of Sports. He revealed his mental health pushed him to the point that he began to self-harm. He'd push away people who cared about him and wasn't able to communicate during the time and let down all his loved ones as a result. He said he's recently been better though. He's cut down on drinking. He'll occasionally have a glass of wine, but nothing too crazy. He's built up his relationship with his family again and started healthier habits and found a good balance. One of the struggles he admits to dealing with due to his stardom is backlash and criticism on the internet, especially harsh comments on social media. He pointed out how easy it is to criticize others under the veil of anonymity online, but that doesn't make it okay. We're sure anyone slightly famous will agree with that. The internet can be absolutely brutal. As for his self-harm, Kyrgios opened up about it and uploaded an Instagram post explaining his physical scars from cutting, pointing out that if anyone looks closely, they can see the self-harm scars. He used to regularly have suicidal thoughts and was having a hard time getting out of bed even. But if his own statements and recent news are to be believed, his struggles are far from over. Coming up, Kyrgios has sexual assault trial postponed. Kyrgios was caught up in a sexual assault case recently too, and now he's trying to get out of it by claiming that he's mentally ill. If that's the case, should we really take his recent comments during Federer's speech seriously? As a matter of fact, his lawyers have said they will apply to have an assault charge against him taken off on mental health grounds. The Australian tennis star, who is presently playing in the Japan Open in Tokyo, was not required to be present at the hearing in Canberra on Tuesday. The charge against the 27-year-old was about an alleged assault in December 2021, which was supposedly carried out on an ex-partner. If he's convicted, he can be looking at a maximum sentence of 2 years in prison. His lawyer, Michael Kukulis-Smith, said he was going forward with the application, having thoroughly looked at his client's medical history from 2015 onwards, which also takes into account his public disclosures of mental health struggles. Finally, what do we take away from all this? Is he really having that many mental health issues, though? A sexual assault charge is no small thing. As per Section 334 of the Australian Capital Territories Crimes Act, the Magistrates Court has the authority to dismiss a case if it is proven without a doubt that the accused is mentally challenged, and the facts or other relevant evidence proves that there is in fact mental illness impairment present in the person accused. Not so fast, it's also true that the bar for a case to be thrown out on these grounds is actually really high and requires approval from the Director of Public Prosecutions. Other related news. Next up, let's talk about Team World's victory at the Laver Cup. We had plenty of impressive players leaving Team Europe's side, and that definitely proved to be a big advantage to Team World, which finally bagged its first Laver Cup title. World number 19, Francis Tiafoe, won against Team Europe's Stefanos Tsitsipas on Sunday and was pretty much the deal for his team. He won against him while saving 4 match points with a 1-6, 7-6, 11, 10-8 win. John McEnroe was so hyped up about finally winning a Laver Cup that he couldn't even talk about it too much. He really just wanted to skip right onto the celebrations. We can understand that he was captaining the defeated side for a whole 5 years. It must have been a big deal for him to finally be leading the winning side. Not just him, Tiafoe was super excited too. He made his team and his captain proud, but he's also a good sportsman and didn't want to take all the credit either. He said it was a team effort and everyone should get the credit for it. Now, where's Nadal's retirement plan? Nadal may have said he hadn't given too much thought to retirement yet, but he's also definitely told us a lot about his plans for it. The tennis champ kicked off the Rafael Nadal Academy with his uncle and first ever coach, Tony. As a matter of fact, one of the Academy's star graduates, Casper Ruud, even got to play against Nadal in the 2022 French Open final. Rafael said he wanted to have a bigger role in the Academy after he retires from tennis. He wasn't sure if he could commit as a full-time trainer, but he's still down for it and is considering it actually. Besides that, it also seems that he's retiring so he can relax and focus on his wife and baby. Finally, it turns out Casper Ruud is going to play in the Mubadala Championship. Organizers recently announced that Casper Ruud is going to be joining world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz as he makes his debut at the Mubadala World Tennis Championship in December. Casper is the second player to be confirmed for the 6-man tournament in Abu Dhabi, which is set to take place December 16th through 18th. Alcaraz, who won against Ruud in an exciting US Open final a month ago, was the very first male player to be confirmed, while the one-off women's match is going to be contested by world number 2 Ons Jabeur and ex-US Open champion Emma Raducanu. He said he's really anticipating visiting Abu Dhabi for the first time, and this is a tournament that was on his radar for a while now. We're excited to see how it plays out for him. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Kyrgios' comments? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.